If you guys are looking to buy or sell any of your coins on FIFA 23 Ultimate Team, go ahead and check out u4gm.com for a reliable spot to do so using code ELYTE, ELYYT, for 5% off your order. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. My name is Sean, aka Elite, and today we're talking about how to make coins in FIFA 23 Ultimate Team during the World Cup and during this pre-World Cup warm-up promo, which we haven't seen a ton from yet on its release, but we have seen a little bit of a market crash because of it. Even just the name itself has had an impact on the market. If you guys are interested in more FIFA 23 trading content and more FIFA 23 content in general throughout this World Cup, do not forget to hit that sub button and drop a like on the video if it does end up helping you guys out. So today we saw Gonzalo Higuain drop into SBCs, and this is the only card that has realistically had any impact positively on other cards in the game. A lot of the complement link investing would have worked with Gonzalo Higuain. I got in on a couple of goalkeeper compos, but I didn't sell for a ton of profit. I did make some coins, but if I would have held a little longer, I would have made even more coins. I just didn't expect as many people to do this Higuain as people did. It's actually a pretty popular card so far, although I think a lot of people on Twitter were saying it's not worth it, the card is dead. It's definitely had a good impact on cards that link to it, whether it be Argentinian players or hero cards from MLS. They've all gone up in price today, and it's because of this SBC. Robert Lewandowski, not so much, because they've made the squad a little bit too expensive. The card, you need an 88 and an 86 rated team, and I'm just not sure people want to do that for a 77 rated card, even if the other stats are good. And then Cody Gakpo is the only other card that we've seen released today so far in FIFA 23 Ultimate Team for the World Cup warm-up promo. And here's the thing. EA even stated over on their Twitter that these SBCs are for the World Cup promo itself. Some of the World Cup warm-up series has been delayed. We'll provide an update in this thread when one is available. And then they said today's remaining SBCs are now available in this game. And these were the remaining SBCs. It was Higuain, it was Gakpo, it was Robert Lewandowski. They didn't really release a ton other than that, other than a daily SBC for the World Cup promo, which isn't anything crazy. Now, obviously, it is just a warm-up, so I'm not expecting anything insane, but just doesn't seem like much of a promo to me. But if you take a look at how it has affected the market, well, it has been nothing short of pretty crazy, because if you look at this price comparison between today and 24 hours ago, you can see that all of these prices have dropped a ton. Rodrigo Bentancur, of course, he's in packs right now. He's been going down a ton. On November 4th at 7 a.m., he was 108,000 coins. He is now 39,000 coins. Now, he was going to go down either way. That's a big drop. And then we can see the same thing for some of the other informs in packs currently. Osimhen going from 29K to 13K. Diogo Dalot going from 39K to 17K. He got as low as 15. He's back up to 17,000 coins. But that's not all. A couple of the hero cards like Gomez went from about 60,000 coins and just a huge crash to 38K. Morientes is another hero card that did the same thing, 120K to 79,000 coins. Now, it's not a huge surprise to us that a lot of these cards are dropping in price, because our last video was literally titled World Cup Update Market Crash. We knew it was coming, and we knew if they dropped a promo on today or yesterday, by the time you guys are watching this video, that there was going to be a big drop in prices. We knew that was coming. But the thing is that there isn't really a promo going on right now. It's just the name, World Cup Warm-Up. People are panicking because we know we're going to get 6 different World Cup cards in the World Cup promo. We're going to have so much hype around it. There's going to be so much content for it. And I think a lot of the community is just afraid to buy cards right now. They're afraid to invest in certain things that may have even worked in previous weeks. And I can't really blame them, because even myself personally, I can't really say I love any investments that aren't complementary links to anything that's coming out in the next couple of days, because most of the market will continue to go down as we get closer to the World Cup release. Now, once that World Cup release actually happens, we might actually see a market recovery depending on what they drop for that promo. But until then, we're going to see a pretty scared market. And what happens in a scared market is that these prices are just going to stay pretty low. But if you take a look at the other end of things, the cards that have risen a lot in the last day, you've got Ledesma's Inform. He was a card I looked at after Higuain came out, 12,000 coins up to about 15K. It's not a huge rise in price, but it's definitely notable for a card that was pretty close to discard price beforehand. If we take a look at Landon Donovan, similar things happen. Came out 80K for the last few days, got as low as 74K, skyrocketed to 90,000 coins. He's close to that right now. Jorge Campos, a very similar thing. 30,000 coins, a little bit of a drop, and then boom, all the way up to 40,000 coins almost. A big rise in price there. And I believe that's not the only ones that have risen because of the Higuain SBC. I believe Clint Dempsey was on this list not too long ago as well. Any card that really got a good link to Higuain that was usable did go up in price. In fact, if you take a look at Javier Zanetti, he did a huge rise as well. He's an icon that is Argentinian. So he went from 307K. He peaked at 440,000 coins just an hour after it was released. And there was a market correction, but still a rise of 70,000 coins even if you sold, or 80,000 coins even if you sold right now. Juan Sebastian Veron, both of his cards skyrocketed 180K to 340,000 coins. It almost doubled in price, probably did double in price if you bought him the hour before release and then sold the hour after release. An insane amount of rise on these cards, and especially for those that are really tough to link like Higuain, these icon cards I think we've got to keep our eye on for any SBCs that are going to be dropping sometime soon. But speaking of icons, we are going to see new prime icons dropping in about a month, but even sooner than that, we're going to see the release of hero cards. The upgraded hero cards, the ones that are partnered with Marvel for the release, are coming out in just a few days. Everybody's going to get from their pre-order a guaranteed FUT hero card by November 11th at the latest is what they've said, which makes me think it's probably going to come out on November 11th, but it was phrased in a way that said it came out at the latest of November 11th. So in theory, we could get it a day or two earlier. But every single card in this promo looks very good. I mean, if we got Voller, Forlan, Lucio, amazing cards. If you got even some of the lower rated guys like Carvalho, Park Ji-sun, Gavo, Brolin, Marquez, Capdevila, Al Owaran, all very usable cards. Kewell looks very, very good. The only card that really I don't want to pack is Peter Crouch down in the bottom left. And there's a couple more behind my picture there. Donovan and Nakata, who are both also usable cards. Donovan's card actually looks very, very good, while Nakata looks very usable as well. Peter Crouch is the only one you don't want to get. Like, simply put, it's the only one you don't want to get, which is crazy, because that's the card I know I'm going to pack. It's almost guaranteed at this point, and I'll prove it to you guys. I'm going to open that pack right when I get it. I'll post it on Twitter. I'll use it as the intro to a video on this YouTube channel, and it's going to be Peter Crouch. I already know I'm going to pack him. I've set my expectations very low, and I would say that, so I can only get excited if it's not, but I just know I'm getting Crouch. There's nothing to get excited about. It's a guaranteed Crouch pack. So let's talk about the effect of that Heroes pack on the market. Of course, it's coming out very close to the World Cup promo, which it's going to kind of be fighting for the spotlight at that point. But with this Heroes pack, I think a lot of the current heroes are going to drop in price going into that. We're going to see a huge drop in price of all the current hero cards, a lot of panic selling in preparation for it. And then what'll happen is, right when that actually does end up coming out, we're going to see a recovery in a lot of the prices of the current hero cards that are already out. I think people are going to panic sell expecting a market crash because of these cards, but let's be honest, all of the cards that are going to be packed out of the guaranteed pack are going to be untradeable cards. They're not going to be affecting the market a ton, and in fact, I think a lot of people will go back and buy some of the cards they sold beforehand. They're going to sell, they're going to think they're going to drop in price, they're going to market crash, when realistically the biggest drop is probably going to come from that panic itself. So there's nothing to be terribly afraid of. I would say pick up some of those cards maybe the day of the release and wait till they rise back up in price, because we're going to see that panic because of the release of those foot hero packs. But in reality, they're just going to recover really, really quickly, and you'll be able to get some of those coins in profit. And if you want to save some coins on the current hero cards, I would definitely wait to buy until all of that panic does happen. Now, let's see if we can't get anything good out of these packs here. We've gotten these from marquee matchups and the daily SBCs that have been dropping, and I'm not patient enough to hold these until the World Cup promo. We get Rabiot here to start us off. Not good so far. We'll send everything to the club because I do need to club stock. I've been using a lot of these cards on SBCs. I've been using them on marquee matchups, and then I've been selling all the cards or quick selling all the cards, which has left my club a bit dry. Next, we got Baku, who is also nothing to be very excited about. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and quick sell these three and send the rest to the club. We've still got a couple good packs left, though. Something could be in our rare mixed players pack there. Small prime Electrum players pack. Portugal. Ooh. Don't get me excited like that, EA. Come on. Come on now. Final pack from marquee matchups. Were they even worth doing at this point? Well, yeah. Still, even if I get nothing, they're still worth doing. But I still want something good. Give me something to get excited about. Whatever. Lamar. Ultimately, my take on the market right now is to go untradeable in your squad. Don't have any tradables. If you can get away with having no untradables, you don't want to have a Virgil van Dijk just sitting there depreciating in value. Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, has gone from 520,000 coins all the way to 360,000 coins in just a few days, and most of the gold cards have followed a pretty similar trend. And a lot of you guys might be like, oh, well, they've got to be hitting their bottom now. Maybe temporarily, but there's not going to be any sort of huge rebound on these guys. They're going to continue going down in price. The gold cards will continue to be more and more irrelevant over time, and they're going to continue to go down. So any card you think has hit its bottom and is only going to go up from here, you're absolutely wrong. These cards will continue to drop. Kyle Walker right now, 100,000 coins. Well, he's dropped a little bit today. He's down to about 90,000 coins. I cannot see him sitting at 90K for much longer. I think this guy is about to crash as well. I think everything's going down, and it's not going to stop. So I would go untradeable for your team just to make sure you're not just sitting on depreciating value in your squad. But that is not the only thing that is unsafe to hold on to right now. I'd say anything from Serie A right now is pretty unsafe because, well, you can already see Mario Gomez is going down, and a lot of this is because they rose in price because Chiesa's SBC, and then they rose in price because of Medel's SBC, and then Benacer got an upgrade. So everybody built their Serie A teams, and now they're just selling off as that kind of trend has died down a little bit. The World Cup hype is building. New cards are coming out. So people are selling off their world or their Serie A links. And we've seen a drop in price in Mario Gomez and other FUT heroes from Serie A. And then we're also seeing a drop in even cards that we invested in from previous weeks, like Nico Barella, who's an inform, who's out of packs. He went from 70K when we bought him all the way to 90. We sold those cards. He's back down to about 65,000 coins right now. And that's only going to continue to go down over the course of the next few days as more people sell off from Serie A. However, speaking of Barella, the inform cards have been very consistent and reliable for investments. So not everything is a bad investment. In fact, I think some of these cards like Rodrigo Bentancur or Diogo Dalot or Victor Osimhen aren't terrible cards to look at, because as you can see, this Bentancur, sure, it was selling for 100K yesterday. It dropped a ton today to 39,000 coins, and it could go a little bit lower on Saturday, because that is normally when we see the low point for informs. It's Saturdays. So after 6 p.m. content, see what their prices are, maybe get in that night and wait till they rise on Tuesday and on Wednesday, because in the previous weeks, Ousmane Dembele, he went from 260 to 320, and we sold those cards. And we've got Nico Barelas that went from 70 to 90K. Sold those cards. Huge rises, huge profits on these cards. Will there be quite that much rise on these cards this week? Maybe, maybe not quite that much, but I still think that of the cards' reliability and best investments, informs are probably the safest way to go. And although there is still a little bit of risk of cards going down a little bit more, maybe try to get Osimhen for 12K or less, maybe try to get Dalot for 15 or less, try to get Rodrigo Bentancur maybe 35 and less at Saturday. But realistically, there's not a ton of risk, because we've already seen how much they've dropped, and then on top of that, we're not going to see any huge content release until at least next Friday, when I expect the actual World Cup content to start coming out. So things should settle down and actually give a little bit of opportunity to rebound exiting this weekend. So I think if you're going to make some investments, informs are probably the best way to go. And of course, it doesn't just need to be those three. There's tons of different informs that you can go in on as investments. So those aren't the only ones that you can look at. But those are the ones that I definitely would say would be, you know, some of the bigger rebounds, maybe even on Saturday. We're already seeing Rodrigo Bentancur 39K. He's already up to 44, so that's already profit if you bought at 39,000 coins. But he could go back down at 6 p.m. content if they drop another daily SBC that's tradable and whatnot. So that's my take on the current market. Now, as we get closer to the actual World Cup, we're going to see dynamic players added into FIFA. And with those dynamic cards are going to come some of the biggest changes in prices and quickest changes in prices that we've ever seen in the FIFA market in history. Because in FIFA 14, just when there were no dynamic cards in the game, there weren't even any OTWs or Road to the Knockouts or whatever they're going to plan for World Cup mode, Mario Götze, he was 84 rated. It was one of the craziest flips I've ever had in my career as a FIFA trader, and it even came on a card that wasn't even dynamic. It stayed 84 rated either way. The card went from 8,000 coins, and then after he scored the winner of the World Cup, he went to 120,000 coins in about 30 minutes. It was just his gold card, and it was July or whatever, which is insane. So if that was happening to just regular gold cards during the World Cup, think about what's going to happen to actual dynamic cards in the World Cup. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these cards that exist in the game, like if Ivan Perisic went out and scored a hat trick for Croatia or had a crazy good game and his card just started rising. Because think about it. A lot of people watch Premier League matches and their OTWs go up and down. You know, a decent amount of people watch La Liga and Bundesliga that play FIFA. Everybody is going to be watching the World Cup. So when something happens in the World Cup, and none of these games are really going to overlap, so everybody's watching the same game, these cards are going to fly up and fly down. And if you guys can get in early enough and sell into the hype, and I stress that a lot, sell into the hype, because there's not going to be a lot of time for those cards to continue going up, you can make a ton of coins on non-dynamic cards during the World Cup matches. And that's something that I'm going to be looking out for. I might invest in certain cards that are special cards out of packs before their match the next day, just to sell them during or before that match, just because they have them in their mind. And they've looked at them and they're hyped up. Maybe they've scored a goal and they just fly up in price because people are just that excited about the World Cup. And that's the magic of the World Cup. It is going to be absolutely insane. I am so excited for it, and hopefully you guys are too. That's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, do not forget to comment our secret comment of the day, which is going to be Perisic. because, well, I just mentioned him. So let's go ahead and make it the secret comment of the day, which is going to be Perisic. Comment that down below. I'll make sure to drop a heart on everybody that does. Make sure to check out all my links down in the description for my other social medias, because you know I'm going to be active on the World Cup hype. I've already started uploading World Cup content over on TikTok and all that. And do not forget to drop a like to this video. Let's go for 400 likes. I know that's asking a lot, but hey, we got to shoot for the stars. And drop a sub if you're new to the channel and haven't yet. Go ahead and just make sure you're subbed to the channel. Maybe you think you are and you're not. Go ahead and double check. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.